there's the possibility that egg prices may go up over the next few days. Hey folks, how's it going? I've got a couple of articles here about this, but there's articles all over the internet if you really want to look it up. The largest producer of fresh eggs in the U.S. said Tuesday that it had temporarily halted production at a Texas plant after bird flu was found in the chickens. An official said the virus had also been detected at a poultry facility in Michigan. In Texas, Ridgeland, Mississippi-based Cal-Maine Foods said in a statement that approximately 1.6 million laying hens and 337,000 pullets, about 3.6% of its total flock, were destroyed after the infection, avian influenza, was found in the facility in Palmer County, Texas. The plant is on the Texas-New Mexico border in the Texas Panhandle, about 85 miles southwest of Amarillo and about 370 miles northwest of Dallas. The company continues to work closely with federal, state, and local government officials and focused industry groups to mitigate the risk of future outbreaks and effectively manage the response, according to the statement. Cal-Maine Foods is working to secure production from other facilities to minimize disruption to its customers. The company said there is no known bird flu risk associated with eggs that are currently on the market, and no eggs have been recalled. Eggs that are properly handled and cooked are safe to eat, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The announcement by Cal-Maine comes a day after state health officials said a person had been diagnosed with bird flu after being in contact with cows presumed to be infected, and that the risk to the public remains low. In Michigan, Michigan State University's veterinary diagnostic laboratory has detected bird flu in a commercial poultry facility in Ionia County, according to the Michigan's Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. The county is about 100 miles northwest of Detroit. The department said it received confirmation of the disease Monday from the lab, and that is the fourth time since 2022 that the disease was detected at a commercial facility in Michigan. Department spokesperson Jennifer Holton said Tuesday that state law prohibits the department from disclosing the type of poultry at the facility in Ionia. Now, of course, they don't want to create a panic. The facility has been placed under quarantine, and the department does not anticipate any disruptions to supply chains across the state, Holton said. The human case in Texas marks the first known instance globally of a person catching this version of bird flu from a mammal, federal health officials said. Dairy cows in Texas and Kansas were reported to be infected with bird flu last week, and federal agricultural officials later confirmed infections in a Michigan dairy herd that had recently received cows from Texas. The company said Cal-Maine sells most of its eggs in the southwestern, southeastern, midwestern, and mid-Atlantic regions of the United States. Now, that came from CBSNews.com. A more local news outlet, WLBT.com, has an article here that says pretty much the same thing, only a lot more brief. So they're claiming that even though there's been 1.6 million laying hens and an additional 337,000 pullets, so basically 2 million birds, have been destroyed because of avian flu infection. So, although that many birds have been destroyed, and the Ridgeland-based company Cal-Maine has halted production in its Texas facility, that there will be no disruptions to the supply as they're trying to source from other suppliers. I wouldn't count on that because, as we've seen over the past couple of years, other disruptions and even other instances of bird flu coming out where large numbers of flocks were destroyed, we've seen that even smaller incidences can have an effect on the price of eggs. While you may not notice a shortage of eggs, and to me that's yet to be determined, while you may or may not notice a shortage of eggs, I do think it's reasonable to expect the price of eggs to go up, And the price of eggs, as we already know, it's already on the higher end. At least in one store in my area, the price of eggs is like almost $4 a dozen. So, those of you that have backyard flocks, have your own chickens, have your own geese or ducks or quail or whatever it is you're using for egg production, uh, keep an eye on your flock, because if this is happening, there's chances are the possibility of that spreading. We've seen in the past where states have cracked down on cases of bird flu, especially with home growers, residential flocks. Uh, so keep an eye on your plants, or keep an eye on your birds, your flocks, and be prepared for the price of eggs to go up. I'm sure those of you that do have your own chickens will see the benefit of having your own flocks at home, so that you aren't necessarily tied to the price of eggs in the store. Uh, for the rest of you, me included, because I don't have chickens, at least not yet anyway. Uh, this is one of the reasons why we prepare, why we store long-term storables. Eggs are one of those things, you can freeze them, but there's a limit as to how many you can freeze. Excuse me, folks. There's a limit to how many you can freeze. Uh, so typically the alternative is to store powdered eggs in number 10 cans or Mylar bags, things like that. These are usually purchase powdered, although there are ways of doing it yourself, either through a dehydrator, or better yet, a freeze dryer, which would give a better uh, shelf life to those eggs. But this is why we store these things. Small disruptions. This is not a major inconvenience yet. Um, as of right now, it's just a minor issue that may cause prices to go up. Prices are already high, so it might be felt a little bit more than normally. But this is why you prepare, why you stock up on these things, to help get you through these disruptions. Now, there is always the possibility that this could turn into a much bigger issue, where the bird flu is spread to more and more producers nationwide, that could cause a greater disruption in the not only the egg supply, but the supply of chicken, and thereby the price of chicken. I wouldn't doubt that this will also have an effect on the price of chicken, in addition to the eggs, as they're having to destroy this many birds. You know, that's just the way it goes. So, again, this is why we prep. This is why we do what we do. And for those that produce their own food, this is just one of the added benefits, that you don't have to worry about this kind of a disruption so much. Uh, just a minor thing that may be overblown by some channels, but I thought it was important to bring this to your attention, so that those of you that do have flocks, keep an eye on your birds, in case this is the symptom of a much bigger issue going around. And for those of you that don't yet have chickens, myself included, this might be a good reminder as to why we need to prep powdered eggs and alternatives like that, or consider uh, obtaining chickens for the backyard. Anyway, I just wanted to bring this attention to your attention. I appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. As always, folks, stay safe, keep prepping, don't get complacent, and until next time, I'll catch you later.